Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Shoulder Tap. I am Jack, joined by the Risk Man, Mick. How's it going? How's your
What's up,
Friday?
Jack? Happy Friday. It's going good. I'm happy it's Friday. It's a nice, beautiful day here in Chicago, 80 something degrees. Are you getting out and playing golf this weekend?
I'm thinking about it. I don't know if you heard before, but I got to go see Bluey at a public library tomorrow. But my wife has a friend in town, so I'm thinking maybe they could go. And if they do, yes, I will go golfing tomorrow morning. It looks great outside. There's a window right over there. I have not stepped outside yet today, but that is the nature of the
Oh,
beast.
really? I had a
Oh,
nice
yeah.
walk into the office this morning. Very good. Dog was panting on at once we got here. Um, yeah, well, let's dive in. I know we got a late start. Speaking of walking around, walked home last night from a trader meetup. We were at a Traders for a Cause meetup at Bar Cargo here in Chicago last night, and had some great conversations. Myself, Danny Hodgman, Brett Goodwin, we all were over there, and got to meet up with one of our traders over there who came in from the
Hmm.
suburbs. So I want to share this picture. Oh, looks like we got it up. Want to give a shout out to Aman. He's been with Topstep since September of 2023, and Brett and I had a great conversation with him. Danny had to leave early yesterday, but really good guy. Really nice chatting with him. I thought this was a great photo. So shout out to you, Aman. Great chatting with you. He's currently in a trading combine. And he's also, Michael's going to love this. Michael, if you're watching, Aman gave a big shout out for that lockout feature on the TopStep X platform. Aman said he's been leveraging that and really helped him lock in a $700 winning trade in silver. Last week or earlier this week, one of the two, when that had a big move. That's been definitely one of the markets that's definitely moving here recently. So, anyways, just wanted to share that. We had a fun meetup yesterday. Great cause that Traders for a Cause is supporting, multiple causes, I should say. So that was a good time. Jack, wish you were there. I know JD had something going on. I invited him because he's downtown. I know you're working from home, but yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
So want to see, I actually looked at Amon's trade reports, and while I'm not going to feature him on one of the trading cards today, I like that he chips away. Someone who's, not trading as big as he possibly can. Not only is he with TopStep, he trades his own personal account as well. More of some longer hold times there. We were talking about, how we can work that into the TopStep program and whatnot by working a core position. Yes, we tell traders to get out at the end of the day. We don't want people holding positions when the markets are closed and you can't get out of those positions. But if you have a
Mhm.
higher time frame bias, you can come in and work the long side or the short side, day after day on that bias. So just because you got to close it out at the end of the day doesn't mean you can't slap it right back on. We have a lot of our traders, live traders in particular, that I see doing that on a regular basis. So you don't need to hold it overnight, but you can put it back on overnight. With
Close for two
that, I got
hours. Yeah.
yeah, just for 2 short hours. Couple shout outs today. Nice job. I saw the house accounts up about 3 grand. So really good trading decisions there. One of our live traders, Wang, is up $9,700 in his live account. We've got Thomas up 2,700. Coach Dakota up 2,600 today. I know I wasn't on shoulder tab. We didn't have it Wednesday, and then Ben took it yesterday. So I didn't get to talk about Dakota's big winning day the other day, but I will talk about his new account balance highs of about 163 grand. He's done that in pretty short order, Jack. So he's hot, as JD would say. He's on a heater. I'm going to use that quote for another one of our traders when we get to that card. Dennis up 2K, Christopher up 2,200. And let's dive into the cards. I want to talk about Brian, one of our live traders. This is a
All
shout
right,
out, not a
Brian.
shoulder tap for Brian. Brian is, when I made this card for Wednesday and I never got to it, he was 7 days into his live account. I'm really proud of this one and happy to share. Obviously, 100 days, 100% winning days is something to be very proud of. He's got the 75% winning trades to go along with it. He's trading just the NASDAQ, average daily P&L, a little shy of $400. But there's a lot of stuff that I like here. He's in the 150K account. We haven't seen any losing days yet, so I don't know what those look like. But Nice winning day, best day, $1,000. I like that he's trading small early on in the account. Like I said, 7 days under his belt coming into Wednesday's trade date, and just overall very good. I will say we got to look at this risk reward. Uh,
Okay.
it's about 1 to 4, Jack. So while the losing trades are very few and far between, and he hasn't had a losing trading day yet, um, risking $575 to take down $135 is something where you don't want to be living there. So that should change. However, if you look at the trade report, there's very few trades that actually are losing trades. And again, never had a losing day. So that's okay. I think the reason why he's not having very many losing trades and definitely not having any losing days is he's only looking for 3 trades per day. And he's, doing one lots on those. So definitely, I like this. This is a good example of how you need to start out small early on in your live account. Someone who can be trading much larger than he is. He's still sticking with one lots, whether that's a comfort level for him and he's going to continue trading one lots, or he has the ability to trade larger. Sticking with one early on is really important.
Yeah. So I'm not saying this applies to Brian. Great job. I mean, 7 out of 7 winning days. Can't complain with that. Sometimes I wonder when we do some of the hot streaks and things like that, what people are doing to just have so many winning days in a row. And sometimes this is sort of like a shoulder tap to some people out there. We'll see one of two things. It's either we'll see people that make like $80 for 30 straight days, and then the day that breaks the streak is like minus 1,200. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? I think that there's people that are just kind of Monte Carloing it or something like that and just trying to get positive for the day. Or the other thing that can affect the risk reward ratio, right, is people that are very aggressively pulling their stops into profit. So they're booking all
Mm-hmm.
these small winners that are their stops that are sort of distorting things. Um, I have not met Brian or seen how he trades, but that was just more of a blanket statement in general. You got to be careful about that. But 75% winning trades, probably going to come down a little bit at some point. Be careful, but like enjoy the heater, my man. It's the weekend.
Yeah.
Go out in
it's
Folsom.
the J-
No blues,
it's
no prison blues in Folsom.
yeah, it's the JD heater he is on. Yeah, 75% winning trades is going to be hard to maintain, but we always say you should be aiming for 100% winning trades. So always set your sights high, aim high, and if you fall short, you're going to be that much higher. Nobody, strives to have half of their trades being winners. We should be, trying to get all winning trades, and we're going to come up short, but aim for 100% winning trades. I like that he's been paying himself in this account too, Jack. We got a nice payout. Whoops, that's the wrong trade report. What's this payout? $1,750 payout. Good stuff there. Um, yeah, back to what you were saying, a bunch of winning days, $80 or so, and then the $1,200 winning day. I mean, I've done that before. I traded some size in the past, never, going to claim to be one of the bigger traders. I traded in my comfort zone. And the one time I've talked about it on this shoulder tap segment before. One time I broke my rules and went out of my comfort zone is when I took the biggest loss when I had the biggest position on. But that's quite a bit smaller than your biggest loss that you shared that segment too. But it's really freaking painful to have a nice roll going, being profitable for 3 weeks or something, and then you have a losing day that wipes out 3 weeks of profitability. But I think, that tends to happen for these traders that are consistent with small profits. If they're not hyper vigilant of this and they get comfortable, putting up winning days regularly, when they do have the losing day, they're going to be like, oh, it always turns around on me, or, I'm always right. And that's when they tend to let things go a little bit too far, and that, big loser comes around. So anyways, shout out to Brian B. I do want, like I said, look at the risk reward, because that's pretty bad here. We can't sustain that. there should be adjustments there. Um, and I think, for him, taking a peek at this account balance maintenance level, he took a nice payout. Uh, but for someone who's putting up, smaller winning days, they need to make sure that they can weather a couple storms or a couple big losing days here,
Hmm.
because they have the ability to lose three grand in a day. We haven't seen it, but if it rears its head, make sure that you've got some ammo to use, for the following trading sessions. But overall, big shout out to Brian. He's been doing really well here. And with that, I'd like to move on to Eric, if we could.
Yeah. Right before that, I just want to say that, he's averaging 3 trades per day for 7 days. That's 21 trades. You are getting close to the magic 30 number that in most statistical analysis is the minimum you need to say some things. Sorry, I'm completely blanking right now because I'm tired. Somebody fill me in the chat. But basically, you're getting to the point where these numbers mean something. And that makes that risk reward not something that we can just write off at the moment. So, otherwise, great, man. You're killing it. Okay, let's move on, Mick.
All right,
Statistically
let's move.
significant. Thank you.
Let's move on to Eric and Jack. JD, I did see that we James was able to get us the card, the third trading card today. If we're going to have time to get to it, so that should be
Cool.
in the queue. But Eric, I want to talk about Eric. I brought him up a couple of weeks ago, and I mentioned that this guy's got true grit. He's currently on a heater, as JD says, like I had mentioned earlier or with Dakota, but. I wanted to talk about Eric again because Eric's someone that I mentioned had a really rough start. He had a daily loss limit of 3 grand on day one, lost another, I think, $1,500 on day two, not 1,500, 1,100. And since then, I don't know if that was like those first 2 days were kind of a slap in his face to like wake him up. But he's changed everything that he's done outside of those 2 days. He's got 86% winning days and 69% winning days. Other than those first two trading days, Jack, I'm looking at the trade report. I really like this because, like I said, he hit his daily loss limit on day one. His only other losing day, he's only had 3 losing days out of the 23 days in this account. And that other losing day was a $570 losing day. So staying away from his daily loss limit. He's coming in, as Michael says, jab, jab, jab. He's hitting singles. So we've got a lot of, smaller P&Ls, which translates to an average daily P&L of $94. If we weren't factoring in those first two trading days that were losses, that average daily P&L would probably be right around the 300 something dollar mark, because they're coming in and they're just hitting singles. So I wanted to bring Eric back up again because while I talked about him 2 weeks ago and the adjustments that he made, I wanted to follow up to the story and say he's still on it. Currently on an 8-day winning streak for over 4 grand. So this is, a shining example of, even if you get kicked, in the teeth early on, buckle down. It's never too late to buckle down and make those adjustments. And if you're making the necessary adjustments, I mean, this is a success story, a big success story right here, because now they're profitable. They got a lot of winning days under their belt. They haven't taken a payout yet, which I would like to see. If you've spent 23 days in your live account and you've got some stuff to show for it, which he does,
Hmm.
currently on account balance highs, take a payout. So Eric, if you're watching, shout out to you. Take a grand or so, take 500, whatever you want to do, but do take a payout. We're here to pay ourselves. What else do we have on the card that's worth talking about here with him?
Well,
I
I would
know
just say
that
that
this. Go
turning that
ahead.
around is just that's an awesome accomplishment. That's honestly one of the more impressive things that I have heard on one of these cards because you never see people take two huge losses like that and then actually claw it back slowly. I mean, that's wild. I'd love to know what changed for Eric.
It's very rare. It's very rare, but I mean, going from those first 2 days, it's kind of like a bipolar flip, honestly. And I love that. I mean, you see a completely different trader. Um, they changed how many trades they're taking per day for the most part. They're averaging 8 trades per day. Those first 2 days, they were at 10 trades, then they were at 16 trades. Um, but despite averaging 8 trades per day, a lot of these days they're like 2 trades, 4 trades, 3 trades. So they're being selective and hold times. What do we got on the hold times? That's an area for improvement. They're a little bit more patient with their losers than their winners. They're holding those losing trades for 34 minutes, Jack, and only staying in the winning trades for 17 minutes, half the time. But again, this is a big shout out here. And like you said, the biggest thing here is that true grit that I talked about and
Hmm.
making the adjustments. It's tough to do that psychologically, and I'm so impressed that they did it because many people, and myself included in the past, would gravitate towards shit. I lost $4,000 in my first 2 days. How do I get that back? How do I get that back? So, Eric, keep doing what you're doing and let's just make sure that we don't have any days that go off the hinges and we have these big losses. His average winning day is currently at 370
So
bucks, so we
yeah.
should keep those losses contained. Again, I complimented him on that. Only losing day that he had after those first 2 days was 570 bucks in losses. Definitely don't go past that. Try and keep it contained under 370 because that's what your average daily that's what your average winning day is. So never let your losses go past what you make on an average winning day.
All right. Do we want to try this third card? We'll do a speed round, like
Yeah,
a rapid tap of
yeah,
a
sure.
card. All right,
Let's do
Jamie,
it.
if we have it,
Rapid tab.
good short name
All
for it,
right.
Ray T.
Ray T. All right. So Ray is someone we called up from XFA to live yesterday. We really liked their trading. Trading out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. I don't think we've had any roadies here on Shoulder Tap yet. Equity indices, metals, gold. What stands out to me here is a couple things. I like the risk reward. They're taking down 834 bucks on the winners, only risking 400, so it's a good 2 to 1. They're pretty profitable, only having 63% winning days, Jack. High winning trade percentage at 72. Traders, if you're hitting a 72% winning trade percentage, that's high. Again, we want to strive for perfection on the winning trades. We're not going to make it there, but 72% winning trades with a 2 to 1 risk reward ratio is pretty damn good, and that's why we called them up to live. I think they spent it wasn't a lot of time that they spent in their XFA before we got Ray called up. Waiting for that to load right now. 24 days. 24 days, averaging $671 per day. Um,
That's
and
pretty good.
for someone trading on a short time frame too, which they are, they've got a short time frame. Um, you know, 5 trades per day. They're anywhere from 1 to 5 contracts, so they're picking their spots. They're calculating their leverage that they're going in with. I like it. Average winning day at 2,000, while the average losing day, which there's not too many of them, is 1,600. That's really good. And then, to have your best day being over $11,000, they actually had a pretty high hold time on that day. Best day being almost 4 times the size of their worst day. It's good stuff. So I know
So
we're
I
winding
believe
down on time.
we're
Yeah.
winding down, but I want to say that Ray is in the chat. It would appear. If
Ah.
it is in fact this Ray, effing great job, man. Like have a great weekend. Do it right. If it's someone who's pretending to be Ray, you'll just have to live with that. But have a nice weekend, you too. So cool,
Hopefully it's
great
not an
job.
imposter. And Ray, if that is you, I'm sorry we spelled your name incorrectly. It's Rey. It's Rey, not Ray. But Ray,
It could,
compliments to
yeah.
you. I like the risk reward. Hold times, they're good, very good. And doesn't trade as long as he can. I don't know if that got translated to the card properly. Doesn't trade as large as he can. Nice job.
Yeah, size up. So, Mick, Have a wonderful weekend. Hope you get a chance to hit the links. But before that, we got some great stuff still on the pipe for this Friday, the 17th of May. We got JD and Robert with group coaching. Then Anne Marie stopping by with Dolby and Hogue. And then closes it out with Andre Dolby, Nick for a tick, and Isaac for Power Hour. It's Friday Power Hour. It's going to be lit. So, Mick, thank you for all you do. We'll be back right after this break.